how hard must that be for you because you had seen Bobby, and then he has passed, and then you're seeing everyone else. I mean, do you think if I'd left them back, back in Grand Rapids, things might have been different, or do you ever feel guilt about?
I'll be honest with you. When I think about if I left them back in Grand Rapids, they would have been dead long before. They would have been dead long before. There was no life for them there. They had to get out. They needed to get out. I mean, they grew up in an abusive, neglectful household. Not that their mom was bad. She was just innocent.
Mm,
So dad was a devil. The
mm,
mom was too innocent and helpless to do anything about it. A black mom, a black wife, and a white husband. Uh, she couldn't catch a break. So,
mm.
I mean, I wish certain things in her had been different, but it just is what it was as far as that went. But they didn't have a chance in Grand Rapids. I think drugs would have swallowed them up in Grand Rapids, to tell you the truth.
Wow.
They didn't have a solid upbringing.
Yeah. I mean,
I
I've
mean,
interviewed.
mine was not that it was negative, because mine was not negative in any way, but I was raised by a single mom too, so that's not a complete household. But at least I was surrounded by my grandfather and my uncles and solid men who helped me learn values and principles and things
Yeah.
like that. They were never taught any of that. So
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying I've interviewed both Bonnie last year and Elle, and they do talk about how the challenges that it was for them, and people would say, couldn't you have done anything? But there's only so much you could do when you're taking care of yourself, trying to run things, and you just can't monitor somebody 24/7.
Absolutely not. You know, and I'll be honest with you, man. I mean, you raised the question about after what all that happened to him, would I feel any guilt? You know what? No, I feel thankful that at least I was able to help them get exposed to what can be, because it's not over until they're gone. And who knows what can change. Just like this ugly documentary that they're trying to put out. I would love to see it where they go and they get themselves together. And there's a documentary to show what you can do after you
Mm,
uh, dealt with adversity for so long.
yeah.
But that's yet to come if it ever exists. So
Yeah. What what would you say then? When you look back at your career as a manager, which of the artists did you really feel proud of what you achieved with them?
L, I invested more time in L than with most. I have to say switch, to tell you the truth.
No, of course,
Because
no, no,
we're
but
still
no,
alive and well, kicking and winning awards and different things. So I have to say switch, but that's me. So I'm gonna take this bread as long as God's willing. I am too. You know. Uh, what am I most proud of, though? Basically, was the question you were asking me.
yeah, as a manager, not because of course
Okay,
switches. Yeah, as
gotcha.
a manager, when you did the management side.
I'd say L. Even though we did good numbers with the rappers, with the Skinny Boys and with Steezo, we did good numbers. We got a platinum record out of them and stuff like that, and they worked for a while, you know. But no, I'd say L for the most
Yeah.
part. I loved working with my niece, Michelle Thomas, but she went off into television. Michelle, incidentally, as I said, she worked on the Cosby Show. She was periodic spots, and then she was Laura on Family Matters. So that was a
Mm,
legit role. So she grew into that. Sadly, she passed before she could do more. She'd had a great career ahead of her, but she passed
mm,
away too at a young
yeah,
age.
that was a sad one.
Yeah.
Um, just thinking about because I never I did a poll a while back when I was saying who has the best falsetto, and I put Philip Bailey, I put L, I put Eddie Kendrick, um, I can't remember a number of other people I put in, and a lot of people were voting for L, but then I sort of started reading the comments, and people said you forgot to put Bobby, and I had really had no idea about his voice and his talent. But for you, for asking you that question, when you think of all the great falsettos, from Motown and beyond, who would you rate,
So ironic though that the four you mentioned are my favorites out of everybody, and I love Ted Mills from Blue Magic. I love a lot of the great guys. Phil Perry is excellent. But my favorite four, and in this order, from least to favorite,
Yeah.
Philip Bailey, L. DeBarge, Eddie Kendricks, and Bobby DeBarge. Bobby
Wow.
DeBarge is number one. Bobby DeBarge, it was a phenomenon. Not just because I know him, not just because that was my brother and I actually got him out of the house and into the game, but because God anointed that kid. That Bobby had something really, really, really special. It was the other side of Bobby that kept that from living as it should have lived. Because right now he should be a superstar. He should be a very wealthy superstar.
Wow.
You know, Bobby to me, and I listen back now, and still he does things that has me in awe, even now. I'm talking about things off records and stuff that we did together and stuff like that. Yeah, Bobby was number one. I guess I will die with him being number one to me.
Wow. I'm going to rerun that poll and put his name and see how other people see it that.
And I love Eddie Kendricks too, man. I mean, God, I grew up with, you know. In fact, to be honest with you, what a lot of people don't know is that when I was putting my band Switch together and I thought about vocals, patterning the vocals after the Temptations. I was the Melvin Franklin, Bobby was the Eddie Kendricks, and Philip was the David Ruffin. That was it.
What was it like when you finally met them?
Met whom?
The Temptations, when you joined Motown.
Oh man, I was elated because I've done my one talent show doing Temptation songs, of course. And believe it or not, when I met the Temptations, I was allowed to produce a song for their album. I was allowed to produce a song, and I got in and got to work with it and things like that for that album. Rick James got the majority of the songs on the album.
Okay.
Standing on the top and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but my grandfather died, and when my grandfather died, who helped raise me, I kind of shut down and went back to Michigan. So I didn't finish the project in time for it to make the album. But Berry Gordy did allow me to produce. He asked me to produce something for Temptations, and I did produce a song for them.
But then having them, and these are you've got Melvin, you've got Otis. I mean, does it become like this is not real? These are the Temptations who have humiliated.
You know what? To a degree, yes. But if you remember before, even in the first interview, I told you that we're just humble cats, man. So we didn't idolize anybody in particular. It was just that, we held them and gave them their respect and held them in high esteem, but they were our peers. Just like Otis and I are friends now. In fact, he's the trooper holding the Temptations together, and I'm the trooper holding Switch together. So we have a lot of stuff in common. Both of us are Williams. Both of us are dark complected. So we got a lot going on. We joke about that.
I'm surprised he's still going. I mean, that's longevity, the outlasting your band.
That's it. God gives him the grace to get up there on the stage and do them steps and all of that. In his 80s, I can only dream and pray to be like Otis.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I did miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No. Okay, you're okay.
They don't understand what Jonas boys are winning all spirits.
Play it.
And all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.